Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur established these temples, Yogapith, Chaitanya Math, amongst 64 temples he established in India. You'll see the temples of Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur in many major cities, Madras, Delhi, Puri, Dhaka, Bangladesh, even been preaching in Burma. And he instructed Srila Prabhupada to preach Krishna consciousness in the English language in the Western world. And Srila Prabhupada, in pursuance of the order of Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, spread the Krishna consciousness movement all over the world. And it's the mercy of these great acharyas that we are able to be in the Krishna consciousness movement today, the preaching mission. We'll talk also a little bit about Thakur Bhaktivinoda when we go to Swarupganj. Thakur Bhaktivinoda was the father of Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur and the inaugurator of the modern Sankirtan preaching movement. And he wrote books. Siddhanta Saraswati Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he wrote books. He wrote more than 100 books in English, in Sanskrit, in Orisan, in Bengali, in Persian. He was a scholar in many languages, and he was the district magistrate here in Krishnanagar and responsible government officer. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur wrote books and preached and established Namhata. Namhata means in the home people would congregate and organize Krishna conscious preaching programs in the home. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he did not establish any mat, but the institute of the Gaudiya Mat, which ISKCON is modelled on, where there are temples and there is the institute, and the institute has property and assets, just like ISKCON has 5,000 temples all over the world. So many places, temples and centres, 500 temples, 5,000 centres, ISKCON projects, centres, Namhatas. So there ISKCON is a legal entity, and this concept was initiated by Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, who established Gaudiya Mat. And he registered the institute, and they purchased properties, built temples all over India. And then the first concept of a network, one organisation, systematically spreading Krishna consciousness all over India, 64 temples. And at the time of Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur's preaching, the Advaita Bhawans and the Mayavadis were terrified by him. Were terrified because it was such a uncompromising preacher of the Vaishnava Siddhanta. And even it's described that in Kolkata he would be on the street there in the market, he would see one Mayavadi on the street, he would cross the road and confront that Mayavadi and grab him by the neck and shake him. He was very tall, he was 6'4". He was born in Orissa, but he grew up in Bengal. Like Bengali to be 6'4", that's extraordinary. Generally even Prabhupada was not tall, Prabhupada was short. So he was so tall and such an awesome character, Naishtika Brahmachari, lifelong Brahmachari. And so many glories, you can read the glories of Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Vaibhav, one book by His Holiness Bhakti Vikas Swami Maharaj. There's 3 volumes. It's all the details of his travels and his preaching. So many nice stories we hear that he would travel on train and preach in India. And the railways, Indian railways also coordinated that because so many association get blessings in Saraswati Thakur. They would coordinate that he would go through a village and the train, they have a big station, but they have a small stop. It's just like one little cabin there, and sometimes the train stops up. And the train would stop, and then all the village people would gather around. The train would stop there 2 hours, and Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur would come down from the cabin and they give lecture and do program, and then get back on the train and go off. So he was a great scholar. In fact, the name Siddhanta, we were hearing this morning in the Bengali class, the name Siddhanta was given to him before initiation because of his astrological accomplishments. As he was offered the seat of astrology as the Dean of Astrology in Kolkata University. So in the early 20th century, the Kolkata University was very prestigious. That was the time of British in India. British Raj. Kolkata was described as the jewel of the East. It was the second most important. Kolkata was the second most important city in the British Empire after London. And Calcutta University, many European professors were there. And it was a very prestigious university. He was offered the seat of the Dean of Astrology at Calcutta University. He didn't accept that. Because he felt that if he felt the reason why he didn't accept, he felt that if he accepted a position like that, then there would be too much social pressure on him to enter Grihastha life. So therefore he didn't accept that career. And rather he remained independent. And he came here, and we will visit tomorrow. He established that temple. It was his headquarters, Chaitanya Math. And it's the largest Gaudiya Math temple in Mayapur. Probably the largest we see now maybe in Puri. That's quite an active temple in Puri, the birthplace of Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Today is his birthday. So that temple in Puri is quite active. You often see 4 or 5 sannyasis there, and maybe 10, 15 brahmacharis. But here in Mayapur, this temple is also active. A couple of sannyasis stay. Oftentimes you'll see bookshop and book preaching. And dioramas that he established. Radha Kund. Tomorrow we won't stop. We'll just wander around and take darshan. Radha Kund. He established Radha Kund, Sham Kund, Girigoa, Dan. We'll do parikrama. We're not going today because there'll be mics speaking and loud mics, and through different programs. We'll go tomorrow and it'll be quieter. And also he established the samadhi of Gopishore Das Babaji Maharaj. Gopishore Das Babaji Maharaj was his Diksha Guru. And it's interesting that Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur was such an erudite scholar. Famous, he received the name Siddhanta because he wrote the book Surya Siddhanta on the Surya Jyotish, calculations of the sun and the moon. He was such an erudite scholar, and he accepted as his Diksha Guru Gopishore Das Babaji Maharaj. We'll see the samadhi of Gopishore Das Babaji Maharaj, the only disciple he accepted. And Gopishore Das Babaji Maharaj was his guru. He couldn't even write his name. He couldn't even write his name. However, because he was considered a Paramahamsa, fully realized soul, fully realized in his eternal constitutional position in relation to Mahaprabhu and Radha Krishna. So he was directed by Thakur Bhaktivinoda to take initiation from Gopishore Das Babaji Maharaj, indicating that scholarship in itself is no qualification for Krishna Bhakti. Scholarship. There's no qualification for Krishna Bhakti. That even an illiterate can be esteemed and can be the ashraya vigraha, can be the source of shelter of a highly learned scholar. Because this is not required in Krishna Bhakti, Anushilan, in Krishna Bhakti cultivation. Scholarship is not required. And so many achievements, Saraswati Thakur. He had many thousands of disciples, I think 50 or 60,000 disciples. Many sannyasi disciples, and you'll see that all of the temples here, in all around Navadvip, all of the temples you'll generally see are founded by disciples of Saraswati Thakur. Huge mission. The governor of Bengal came here, and the Viceroy of India, the Governor of Bengal came. At that time, I think actually the Governor of Bengal may have also been the Viceroy of India. Viceroy of India means the King's representative in India. At the time of the British Raj, the most influential person in India, the most highest executive position. Governor of Bengal came to Mayapur to visit Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. I think that was on the day of Gaura Purnima. And there's so many pictures there. He was hosted at the Chaitanya Math. And at that time, this road is called Bhakti Siddhanta Marg. This road. At that time, there was no road. So they built the road for the Governor of Bengal. The road went from Chaitanya Math to the Mayapur Ghat. So he came by train, Navadvip, and then they built the road. The train was running. And then they built the road for him to. The Governor of Bengal is coming. We're not going to take him on a broken track, on a bullock cart. So they built the road, and I think they had vehicles and they drove. So these are some of the achievements of Saraswati Thakur. We can discuss endlessly his achievements. And today we are here at the house of Advaita Acharya. We mentioned yesterday that Sri Advaita Acharya had two residences. In fact, Sri Advaita Acharya was born in Bangladesh, now Bangladesh, in northeast. Actually, that is the area of Srihatta. The same area where Srivas Thakur also, yesterday we were at Srivas Thakur, he also was born in that area. He's going to have has property there at the birthplace of Srivas Thakur. And Mahaprabhu's father, Jagannath Mishra, and Sachi Mata, they are also from Srihatta. So all of these devotees, Sachi Mata, Jagannath Mishra, Srivas Thakur, Advaita Acharya, are all from the same area, northeast of Bangladesh, Srihatta. And Mahaprabhu and Jagannath Mishra and Sachi Mata, they came to Mayapur to live on the bank of the Ganga. Then Bengal was one state. They came to Mayapur to live on the bank of the Ganga, and Mahaprabhu was born here in Mayapur. But he was conceived in Srihatta. And Advaita Acharya had a house there. And we have a land there at the birthplace of Advaita Acharya. Nice ISKCON property there, big temple under development. And Advaita Acharya also, he came. Many devotees were born in different places. Radha Pandit was also born in Bangladesh and in Chottogram. And these devotees, they came to Mayapur and they resided in Mayapur in order to associate with the Lord before the appearance of the Lord. Advaita Acharya came here, he had this property, he had a house here. And also in Shantipur, he had a house in Shantipur. And in Shantipur he was residing and he was worshipping the Shalagram Shila and praying for the Lord to come. It describes, he was quoting the verse from the Puranas that described that the Shalagam, that the Lord can be pleased, Lord can be satisfied simply by offering Ganga water and tulasi. So he was worshipping the Lord. He was worshipping his Shalagram Shila. Acharya, Advaita Acharya, he was a Brahmin family, so worshipping Shalagram Shila. So Mahaprabhu also Brahmin, Jagannath Mishra. And the Lord being satisfied with his worship, he was calling out and praying for the Lord to appear. Even his Advaita Acharya is also, he is incarnation of Mahavishnu. So he's also Bhagavan, Vishnu. So he was even appeared, Avatar, Vishnu Avatar, Advaita Acharya. However, seeing the condition of Kali Yuga, he understood that only the original personality of Godhead himself can actually deliver the people of Kali Yuga. So on the request of Advaita Acharya, yesterday we heard Mahaprabhu, when he revealed himself to Advaita Acharya, he said that because of your beckoning, because of your calling, I've come here. And now Advaita has gone to Shantipur. So Advaita Acharya was in Shantipur and he was praying for the Lord to appear, and Lord Sriman Mahaprabhu appeared. In fact, he appeared and Advaita Acharya, he asked Advaita Acharya, yes, so blessing Lord Narayan, yes, how can I, what boon you want? I'm not asking much, just appear in the Kali Yuga and deliver the most fallen. Not asking much, just to take your personal appearance in the Kali Yuga and deliver everybody, deliver all the fallen lechas and the diavels. Deliver them, that's all I'm asking, not much. So in reciprocation with the request of Advaita Acharya, Mahaprabhu appeared. He appeared at the time of the scheduled incarnation, the Yuga Avatar. In every Yuga, as Krishna explains in Bhagavad Gita, Yada yada dharma shaglanera bhavati bharata advyutanam adharmasya tadatmanam srijamyaham haritranaya saranam vinashacha duskritam dharma samstapanataya sambhavami juge juge. So in every Yuga he appears as the Yuga Avatar. And the Yuga Avatar, he propagates the religion for the age. Yuga Dharma. So Mahaprabhu, he's simultaneously, he's a Lila avatar and a Yuga avatar. He's coming to establish the Yuga Dharma. Kali Yuga Dharma. Nam Sankirtan Toti Lage Peter Varna Chaitanya Avatar. So he comes to propagate the Yuga Dharma, and he also comes to other reasons. You can hear on the Gaur-Purnima day, the devotees in Mumbai will explain the confidential reasons, the external reasons, the internal reasons. So he came upon the request of Advaita Acharya, and that Shalagram that Advaita Acharya is worshipping is still worshipped in Shantipur. Up until very recently, the descendants of Advaita Acharya were there in Shantipur. Up until recently, the last son of that 14 generations. And the last son is now 60, 70, he has no son. Has come to the end of the seminal line of the family descendants of Advaita Acharya. Advaita Paribar, in fact there's a whole sampradaya. Advaita Paribar, the family descendants of Advaita Acharya. Nityananda Vangsha and Advaita Paribar. Now in Shantipur there are no more residents of Advaita Acharya. So that Shalagram that Advaita Acharya worshipped is still there. If you go to Shantipur sometime, if you go there, you can see that Shalagram. But today, at this place, we will carry on with our discussion of how Sriman Mahaprabhu gradually revealed himself to the different members of the Panchatattva. And this deity here, you can see Mahaprabhu, this is the deity which is demonstrating Mahaprabhu revealing himself. So we'll describe that today. And we'll also describe a little bit about earlier when the childhood pastimes, when Mahaprabhu performed various childhood pastimes related to Advaita Acharya's place. So we'll discuss those today. How does that sound? You can find in your manual, your bhajan manual, you'll find the Sri Krishna Chaitanya. Sri Krishna Chaitanya. And sing that song.
Jai Krishna, Krishna Krishna